I'm a veterinarian and duathlete, and I met Terry last summer doing a week-long tour of the Catskills. When I met Terry, I was recovering from a torn hamstring and some chronic nagging injuries, and had been really frustrated. The previous year I had competed at Worlds, torn my hamstring during the race, and 6 months later I really wasn't much better. I kept trying to return to hard training, and every time I started training again I had a lot of inflammation, and I was really honestly very frustrated and starting to kind of give up my goals that I could do that again, get back to that level of training. My goals, I wanted to return to duathlon world championships. So coming from a science background, one thing I really liked about Terry was that he also was coming from a scientific background as far as the training perspective was, and as far as diagnosing medical problems. Using a power tap, so knowing how much stress your body was under rather than just sending you out hammering on a hard interval that doesn't really have any measurable quantity. So for me that was important. Well, I think the nutritional side is a really important side of athleticism that a lot of people don't take into consideration. And with Terry, he not only looked at the supplements but also at the food I was eating. He did metabolic typing, helped me to find which foods actually agreed the best with my body specifically. Additionally, with the nutritional supplements, my sleep improved, my digestion improved, and ultimately my hormone imbalance came back into normal regularity, I guess you could say. Well, as far as being open to it, honestly, I think it took me being injured chronically for a number of years before I realized I really needed to look at other ways, that obviously what I was doing was not working, and that there had to be a better way to be able to have my goals and yet also have a regular lifestyle. Terry runs a number of nutritional tests, blood tests, that really are looking above and beyond what your regular doctor looks at. And I can say that being in the medical field myself, knowing that normally you just kind of run a CBC and a chemistry, and that takes care of everything. And if it's within the normal range, your doctor says there's nothing wrong. But especially for an athlete who's really pushing themselves really hard, any of those little minor abnormalities are actually much more significant. And Terry really was very thorough about going through the entire diagnostic panels, figuring out what the root cause was, and treating that cause rather than just giving medications that make you feel good but are not really actually curing you or improving you ultimately in the end. So the best thing about Terry, I've had other coaches before, and Terry is taking in the full human being. He's not just looking at your workouts and saying this is what you need to do. He really was looking at what your needs were, what the balance of life is, the workouts, the nutrition, everything else that's going on, even emotionally really. And I think especially for women, there's often a lot of emotions there, and you're just kind of pretending they don't exist, whether they're fears, depression, anxiety around competition or around other things. And Terry was really been very supportive in all aspects of that. So I finally feel that my life is balanced, that I have figured out not only what my goals are and how I can go about getting them, but also what my life and personal needs are. I think I really used to be very obsessive about my training, and it was like nothing was going to interfere with it, whether it was health related or not. I was going to still compete with a broken collarbone, with the torn hamstring, and that really wasn't healthy. And Terry really helped me to see that, for instance, that I can have a child and still have a goal of coming back to competition, going to the World Championships, that's all doable in a balance. And having someone support you and see those needs is really, really inspiring and nice.